And now, live from Isolation Station in Burbank, California, it's The Plague, week 52 of the Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Alison welcomes a guest. She's a comedian who recently had a beautiful Zoom wedding and is now on her Zoom honeymoon, where she gets to keep having chats with Joanne and Scooter from St. Louis, who only want to talk about sports and The Masked Singer. It's Jackie Johnson. And she's an actress, comedian, and hot vet stalker. It's Helen Hong. Tone Zone is here to let Harry and Meghan know that if they ever want to swing by, he's got a full bar and a Nintendo Switch. I'm her husband, Daniel, saying hop on board the Love Bus and say hello to your new best friend, Alison Rosen.
Alison Rosen. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Alison with her the good times never end. Alison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Alison's your new best friend.
Hello, my little brown sugar body scrubs. Welcome to another exciting episode of Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. That particular carbohydrate, now is it a carbohydrate you're thinking? It's a beauty product, was sent in by Katie Kistler, and she said, in parentheses, it is technically a carbohydrate. It was submitted, and what a perk, on Patreon. Patreon.com/Alison Rosen is where you can go to submit carbohydrates that I will then call you on air. And I chose it because it made me fondly recall those commercials for, I believe it was an Australian hair removal product called Nads that you could eat. And I found those commercials mesmerizing and hypnotic, and I never ate Nads, though. I never even used it, but I did enjoy the commercials. I would like to say hello to my guest, Helen Hong. Hello, welcome back.
Hello, thank you for having me back. And I now need to go into a deep rabbit hole about Nads.
Did you ever see the Nads infomercial?
I never saw the Nads commercial. I don't know what you're talking about, but I can't imagine. Is it like Nair?
I don't think so. I believe it's more of like a
Nair.
Oh no! Just hearing the term Nair like singes my eyes and nose hairs. Let's get into why someone would want to use a depilatory versus all of the other hair removal techniques. I know Tony has a lot to share about that, but we're not saying hello to him yet. So just hold your horses, Tony. Jackie Johnson. Hello. You look like you have a filter on because you've got butterfly clips in your hair and you have beautiful lipstick. Look at you.
I got ready during your song. I decided I needed to glam up a little bit. And also, I have eaten Nads. I ordered it. And I used to nair my mustache and unibrow off as a child because I did pageants.
What?
And my mother tortured me. So I could talk about hair removal all day.
Let's get into that in a second, but I do have to just pick up on something you said, which is you got ready while we were doing our song. If you would like to watch us dance in our seats and watch Jackie put on lip gloss and also dance.
I primped.
That's right. She did pageants, so she knows how to primp. That's a perk at patreon.com/Alison Rosen.
Patreon.
Possibly the earliest I've ever remembered to say hi to him. Tony, hello, welcome.
Hello. In honor, we are recording this on International Women's Day, and to honor the three of you, I'm just gonna sit quietly and not speak the whole show, and I'm not gonna run the drops either. I'm gonna turn off my recording just so I can focus on what you guys are saying.
What? But what if we need you to pipe up about Nads?
Well, I'm sorry. On this big day, I'm sorry. You're out of luck.
On this day, Tony is providing the Nads.
Are
the much needed Nads.
Are you doing a media blackout in honor of women?
Just for this show. Only for this show.
Tony, this sounds more like you're going on strike.
Yeah.
Maybe Tony has diarrhea and he just needs to leave for a little while.
Tomato.
I feel like you're boycotting the show.
Or am I girlcotting?
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Girlcotting would be a great spin-off show with the three of us.
Yes. Yes.
I would love nothing more than to girlcott with you guys.
We were just talking about how flourishing the podcast business is, Alison. So if you want to start a third podcast...
I actually do want to start another podcast. We'll have that conversation off air, but I will. I did share. You know what? Got to stop myself. Jackie, your teeth are so white. What is going on?
I mean, I did white strips for my wedding. That's all I can really think of. I did the Target brand because they're just as good as the Crest, but they don't test on animals, and they work just as well. So I did the Crest white strip or the Up and Up white strips, and they work.
And they work because your teeth are gleaming white.
Right?
Wait, have you gotten married since I last was on with you, Jackie? Oh my God, Jackie, congrats!
Ooh.
Look at that.
Wow.
So via Jackie, I learned about Pad Paracha sapphires, which are pink sapphires that look like they have a galaxy inside them of colors. But you have like a big pink stone, and then you have your wedding band of stones. Where's your big pink stone?
So, okay, I'm going to just be honest. This is Alison Rosen. I can't get this ring off. I can't. It's too small. I don't know if it's the weight I gained in Austin while I was in the bread lines. I don't know what it is, if I'm retaining water. I don't know. I can't get my fucking wedding band off.
Oh, God.
I can't. It's like 5 size. I mean, can you see? It literally
squishing your flesh.
And so I have to go back in and have them, I don't know, I guess I have to like lube up with some damn KY and ice my hand and then have them make it bigger, but I can't get it off. So lately I've just been wearing the band. I haven't been putting my honker with it.
Do you feel claustrophobic?
No, if it was the big one, I would have a problem with it because my ring is so big. Like, it's 3.62.
Wow.
Carat. I'm just kidding. It's a sapphire, so it's not a diamond. So, before anybody comes for me. But this one is, these are actually pink tourmalines.
Oh.
So it's not, pretty. It doesn't bother me, but I'm just scared. I'm like, what happens if I do like a Jimmy Fallon and like I fuck my hand up?
Yeah, no, you got to get that resized.
I got to get it off. I can't get it off.
It looks uncomfortable already.
What happened with Jimmy Fallon? I just remember being warned not to Google it because
oh God, I don't
queasy.
even want to know. I think it snagged on the side of something and like sliced his finger. I don't know. I feel like I always tell y'all nasty shit to Google on this show. Don't Google it. I haven't looked it up.
So
no. Helen's looking.
I have a nasty story to share later. It's not that nasty though. But I think, and I am talking out of my ass, but I feel like there's a way if you take dental floss or thread and like wrap it around your finger, you can get the ring off. Google that.
Wait,
maybe.
You mean wrap around the biggest part, like sort of bind it?
Bind it like just temporarily.
Like a corset.
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know. I think just plain old lube will do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like even like when I've had a ring stuck, like soap and water will do it.
I've tried soap and water. I've tried to ice my finger to make it smaller. I think I need some Astroglide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. KY.
I'm going to order some from Alison's Amazon store.
I need to put some in my store. I need to put it in the Daniel section of my Amazon store next to the Beano and the Breathe Right strips. Amazon.com/shop/Alison Rosen.
I've bought several things from your shop.
Thank you very much, Tony.
Yeah.
What is the best kind of lube, do you think?
Oh boy, where do I start? I mean, of course there's the KY. Helen brought up the obvious one, but I kind of like more of the deep cuts. Yeah, but it's...
That's not what it's called, is it? It's not called deep cuts, because that would be horrible.
Can I share with you guys a story when I was becoming a woman and getting my period, which was a very upsetting time of my life. I always wanted to be older, and I really wanted my period because to me that signified that I would be older, but I didn't, like, I thought you just get a few drops in your underwear and then somehow you're magically older and that's it. I didn't realize it's this thing that lasts, 5 to 7 days and it's very uncomfortable and you have to deal with it. So it was just, I think I stayed home from school. I couldn't handle wearing a pad. I still hate pads. I just sat on the toilet and felt sorry for myself. And my mom sort of wrung her hands and also I think wanted to wash her hands of me because she's just like, why can't this bitch deal? But anyway, so I was like, I guess my only option is a tampon. But I was 13, so I couldn't comfortably get one in. So I coated the tampon with Vaseline. I didn't know about KY. I coated.
That's too much information.
I coated. Thank you, Joe Quazala. I coated the tampon with Vaseline, and
That's not good.
It just. Tony, do you have any sort of sound effect that's like? Just suck it. It got. I mean, it slipped on.
I don't have
in.
anything like that handy, but it does seem like we need this.
Gal chat.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, that's a little late.
It did go in, but Vaseline prevents moisture from. I mean, I just basically made it so that
Dried
it wouldn't
your
work.
Yeah. Oof.
Wow.
And my memory of that time is of like being very sweaty and crampy, but also slippery.
So wait,
Gross.
did you never do pads? You went straight to tamps?
I straight to tamps. I just can't stand a pad. The only times that I have dealt with pads are when I moved back from New York, and I was in my 30s at this point, so I was very much an adult. I was living with my parents. Someone recently told me like how bad they feel about being almost 30 and still living with their parents and being single, and I want to be like, please do not feel bad about that. That is so, especially right now, that's like very
There's
common.
no rules anymore.
Yeah,
know?
but I mean-
live where you can.
This was years before
Yeah.
the pandemic, and I was living back with my parents again.
You were
And
a
I had
trendsetter.
I was an early adopter, and also a very late adopter. And I had a meeting up in LA, and I had an extremely heavy flow. So my hand was forced because I was going to be in the car for so long. So I wore a pad. And then also after having my babies, you can't wear a tampon. So I mean, you have to wear like a diaper basically. So that's the time that I wore pads. But other than that, I am anti-pad. What about you guys? Just go, girl.
I'm the opposite. I'm a tampon virgin to this day.
What?
We're all so different and beautiful.
We're each like a snowflake and also a flower. This is such good International Women's Day.
Okay,
I have
Helen,
never, ever
keep
used
going.
a tampon because I have like hardcore Korean immigrant parents, and my mom had never used a tampon, and she thought that if you used one, you were no longer a virgin.
Wow.
And so she wouldn't buy them for me. She wouldn't allow me to get them. She was absolutely adamant that shoving a piece of cotton up there was going to de-virginize me and deflower me. And so I just didn't wear, and then ironically, my sister, who's younger than me, got hers, and she was a swimmer. Like, she was on a swim team in high school. And so I had to buy them for her, like on the down low, because she needed to wear them because she was a swimmer.
Wow.
But to this day, so like I tried a couple of times, but no one guided me and I didn't know how. And then my mom's voice was in my head being like, you will no longer be a virgin. And so I just never wore them. And to this day, I've never worn them. I wear pads. And now I wear reusable pads.
Ooh, I've
like-
seen those. They're very chic.
Like Finks. Yeah, they're clutch. I mean,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
That is a journey.
Yeah,
That is such a journey.
I'm like a Mormon.
Wait, do they not use tampons?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I gotta ask.
I'm like a Amish. I'm like Amish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do they not use tampons? I mean, I've got it. There's a lot of research that needs to be done after this. And now, where are you with like a menstrual cup or something, Helen? I'm imagining that freaks you out too, because that freaks me out, sort of.
Yeah, I just feel like, oh, it's such a mess.
But now, using exclusively pads, Tony, are you loving this? Using exclusively pads, is that not a mess?
It's absolutely disgusting. Yeah.
I think everything is. You know, we just do what we have to do.
Yeah.
Jackie, what's your journey?
Oh my God, I'm so thrilled to share this. I'm so thrilled. Okay, I started my period at 16. So late AF. Everyone was talking about periods. I felt like 40-year-old virgin, like pretending like I knew whatever. I was like, oh yeah, pads. Oh, you know. I started it and I had to go to the water park. And I was clutch. Like I had not, so I had to try a tampon. I did not know how to do it. I was shoving it in the wrong place. I was like literally crying. I had my leg up on the toilet, like going, go in. Like it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. And
if someone doesn't guide you, it really is like.
I know friends
not
who like
like
their
it's like-
moms help them. And I'm like, why did, I didn't have that relationship.
Yeah. No.
And I just also want to point out virginity is a social construct. Anyone listening that's young, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
I feel like I had a lot of like, oh my God, I don't want anybody, whatever. But now, honey, I am an exclusive cup user. I've been using my cup for almost a decade.
Really?
Exclusively. There has not been a tamp of this puss in years.
Whoa. And so
honey.
you shove it up there and it expands into this
Yep.
form. And then
Yep.
here's my fear. When you pull it out, it's filled with blood.
Yeah.
You have to be careful. I one time was at my friend's Halloween party and I yanked it out and I dropped it and it literally hit the ground and splattered everywhere.
Yes,
Full.
that's my fear. That is my fear.
It went everywhere, and I was high out of my mind, and I was like, this is so bad. This is such a bad situation that I just got myself into. I had to clean everything up. I had to lock the door. I mean, only one bathroom at this apartment. It was a nightmare.
God.
What did you do?
I said, guess what, everybody? I just dropped my cup, and everybody had a good laugh.
Were they high too?
Yeah, everybody was high. I
thank
brought
God.
weed gummy bears.
Thank God.
But I've changed that cup in Disneyland. I've changed that cup in Tokyo Disneyland. I mean, me and that cup have been everywhere together.
Your cup has been to more Disneylands than I have.
Yeah, it probably has.
Same. I didn't know you'd
Yeah.
gone to Tokyo Disneyland.
Oh, yeah, honey.
When did you go to Tokyo?
2018.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
In the before times.
In the before times. Wouldn't it be funny if I was like, I went last week?
What kind of cup do you use? I know we've talked about this.
You know what? I have like 3 or 4 different ones now because I would get them for free at like beauty conventions. I really don't think you can go wrong with Diva Cup. They're readily available now. You can get them at CVS and things, but I've also enjoyed Organic Cup. I have a pink one that I got only because it's pink. They have ones that are different sizes. I'm squeamish. And I have mastered it. The first time I put it in, it went in like a dream, and I have had no problems with it. I highly recommend everybody checking a cup out. Even if you're scared of it, I swear, like Helen was saying, pads are gross, tampons are gross, everything's gross.
Yeah, it's
Might
all
as well get
gross.
to know your body, and it's really interesting. You really get to see what's going on.
I took a quiz to figure out which cup I should get, and then I got whichever one they recommended, and I can no longer remember what it is. And then I put it in, and look, I've had 2 babies.
Yeah.
But I was surprised. It was sort of hard to get up there. Tony, this is a lot of information. I'm sorry. And then I was like, I felt it reminded me of when I first got my period, where I'm like, I'm convinced I can feel this thing. I'm convinced it's not in the right place. I'm convinced. And I just couldn't, I couldn't handle it. And I took it out a few minutes later.
Yeah. I mean, I will say there are YouTube videos of like teenage girls like using a shot glass and showing you how to use it.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. Listen.
How's that okay on YouTube? This is educational.
Glass.
Well, no, she uses a shot glass as her vagina.
Oh,
And then- oh no,
Me
no,
too.
no, no.
I totally thought you meant she was shoving a shot
Oh
glass
no,
up there.
no,
I was like,
no,
what?
no. Not on that site. I'm sure there are others.
right. Yeah.
But YouTube, no. Listen, I don't know. I love mine, and it's eco and easy, and set it and forget it, honey. Set it and forget it.
I believe that's what you said to me last time. Yeah. And then I started using a disc for a little while.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I thought that was like the answer to all my prayers. And then I leaked overnight in that at Sketchfest, actually. And then I just went running back into the loving strings of tampons. Okay. So what we were starting to talk. Wait, no, one more question. Tony, if you were to use one of these, what kind of gal do you think you'd be?
Let's all pick one first.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
And then
let's
he
pick one
tells
for
us if we're
Tony.
true.
Yeah, I don't know. This is hard.
I think he's Tony Tamthex. I think
Yeah.
he's tampons.
I do too,
Yeah.
because you're kind of like,
Traditional.
yeah, you're timeless. You're classic.
Yeah, I
like
think
a tampon.
Tony's a tampon guy.
Probably so, because that way I could wear some more revealing underwear. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, you can wear any underwear you want with a cup.
You
That's
can't.
true.
You
do
could go
that.
no underwear if you
Cannot.
want.
No.
Hey now.
You see yourself
No.
wanting to wear revealing underwear?
I don't know. I'm. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for the commitment. Okay. So what I said before we started, but Jackie referred to it, and I'm going to bring it into this conversation, even though it is personal and the kind of thing people don't usually talk about, but clearly given the previous conversation, those kind of things, I say I don't care. I was sharing that I looked at my income in 2019 versus my income in 2020 and was just shocked at the hit I took. And so I was saying to the group that I feel as if I am starting with the stench of failure about me. And I don't like to be a person who measures my worth by numbers, even though I am very much a person who is given to that. But wow. But I do think, even though I know that so much of it has to do with COVID, it's funny how my brain is like, no, you just suck.
No, that's not right.
Thank you.
Alison, you do not suck. And I think the numbers across the board, like every podcast has taken a hit.
Yeah.
Like all the numbers are down. I mean, think about it. Like nobody has money.
Right.
Like,
well, I think
the
that it's
entire year of 2020 was a wash financially for everyone except for Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, and
You know
I'd
what I
say
mean? Like-
Mr. Purell.
Yeah.
I'd say Mr. Purell
Yeah.
And Mr. Zoom.
Amazon are and Zoom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Zoom are probably the three people who
They're
actually
the only people that
more
made any money. Everybody else's income plummeted.
right.
I mean,
And
Helen, you
so-
couldn't tour, right?
I couldn't tour at all. I mean, I
yeah.
have an entire arm, like like stand-up comedy, an entire arm of like my financial, foundation was gone. And thankfully, I have other gigs. Like I do make money podcasting and acting and stuff. I have friends who are purely stand-up comics who are they're still on unemployment. They just have no income whatsoever. And it's like, it's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, I should say, like, I share this because I imagine there's a lot of people listening who might feel similarly. But I should also acknowledge that I'm still very lucky to be fine. And I get that there's people who are in really tough situations right now. And so maybe it's gross that I even said anything. But still.
No, I'm glad you did because I actually almost texted you. I met with my April person over Zoom, and I was honestly devastated when I saw my information. I always text Alison about, she's sort of like my fairy pod mother, if you will. She always is sort of a mentor to me in this space. So I text with her, sometimes I open up to her about things. And I was like, I want to ask Alison if she took a hit too, but I don't want to be weird because people are weird about money and numbers and I don't want to be offender. And so when we got on the Zoom and you were like, oh my God, I made less money. I was like, I feel seen.
Okay, good.
I took a hit, honey. I took a hit. For sure.
I want to be a fairy pod mother.
You are a
You
very
are.
godmother. You and Allie Ward are such mentors to me.
I love that. I bet Allie
Take
Ward.
it, honey. Take it.
What were you going to say, Helen?
Yeah, you just can't take that stuff personally. I mean, especially if you think about like literally everybody took a financial hit this year, and it's not about
We're
you.
lucky we even have a roof and food. I mean, this year was so hard for people.
Yeah.
Devastated people financially.
Yeah. So-
Oh, wait. Now let's get to NADS. Jackie,
Okay. Yes.
can you explain NADS to Helen and
Yes.
also explain why you ate it?
I am
Okay.
fascinated by this concept of a hair removal product that's edible. So please,
I wish I could tell you what it is in it. Off the top of my head, I cannot recall. But it's sort of like a gooey, waxy liquid. And you're supposed to spread it on in the direction of your hair and then grab it and rip it off. And in the commercial, of course, it's seamless. It doesn't hurt. It's beautiful. But in real life, it's a lot stickier. It's a lot messier. And it doesn't work as great. And they say it's so natural you can even eat it. So, of course, my sister and I took a Q-tip and just tried it. I remember it tasted like watered down honey.
oh,
Oh,
that's
wow.
not bad.
Yeah, that's way
Yeah, it's-
better than I'd expect.
It's got like a waxy, dull sugar taste.
Snapchat.
Oh, yeah, baby. Tony's looking it up.
Okay, so it's basically, it works the same way that a wax would
Yes.
if you're at a beautician, like if you're
Yes.
going to get your legs waxed.
Yes, and
It's
I
the
believe
same.
it came with strips that you put on and then rip off, but they make some sugars now that don't have strips at all, which I want to try, but I haven't.
Is that what sugaring is? Sugaring
Yes.
is basically like a wax?
Yes, and you can make it yourself. I see the kids on TikTok do it. It's just lemon, honey, or lemon and sugar and water. And you caramelize it, and then you you can do it yourself because you can buy it or you can do it yourself.
Whenever I wax anything, I'm always shocked at how painful it is. That's my experience.
Yeah. Helen, have you waxed?
I've never waxed. I barely have hair.
Oh, you're so lucky.
I'm
Helen is so pristine.
I'm a hairless Asian. I mean, I'm lucky I have hair on my head. Believe me. Like, it's like these eyebrows, they are drawn in. I mean, I don't have I quit shaving my armpits when the pandemic started, and it's literally 3 lonely strands that are just like, hi.
That's goals. I that's actually me too, but I've had my armpits laser hair removal. I've had my whole body laser hair removal, so I don't really need wax products anymore, but it was the best money I literally have ever spent. It's the best thing I've ever done for myself.
Really? My sister, who's much hairier than me, says the same thing about when she got lasered.
Wait, you have an Asian hairy sister?
I have a hairy Asian sister, and we joke.
Is this the same one that used the tamps?
Yes.
She's the swimmer? Well, she had to be hairless for swimming.
And we joke that she's adopted or like a child of the milkman because everybody else in my family is like hairless.
That's so interesting.
My mom has never shaved her legs in her life, and you would never know. Like, my mom has literally 0 leg hair, and I mean 0, and she has never shaved, and it's just not there. Even my dad has maybe 7 leg hairs, you know? Wow. And so we're just a hairless family, except for my hairy sister, which calls into question her genetic relation to us.
She's your Khloe Kardashian.
Yes, only OJ is not her dad.
Right.
It's the hairdresser, right?
Isn't OJ Khloe Kardashian's?
Well, I think people wonder about that.
No, there was this hairdresser. Google it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Khloe Kardashian hairdresser.
Why does he look just like her?
I don't recall the photo off the top of my head, but yes.
I have to look into
I had always heard it was OJ Simpson who was
that. Listen, that's a rumor. And so is this. So it's no better. But hold on, I'm looking it up.
Ooh, I wonder what's juicier.
Look, hairdresser dad. It's the first thing that comes up when you type in Khloe Kardashian H. I don't know.
I'll have to look this up after the show. And now, I also used a depilatory, but I can't remember why. It was when I was starting to shave. So I was whatever age that is. Fifth grade, 6th grade. And I remember trying Nair, and it, like I said, it smells so bad and it burns your eyes.
It's horrific.
Yeah. But you use that on your, oh, wait a minute. I did use that on my mustache when I was young. But I feel like I'm getting 2 memories confused. I'm getting like a Jolene cream bleach memory and then whatever face depilatory it was. What was it? Do you remember?
No, I mean, I used to use the Avon Skin So Soft bleach. Mm-hmm. And one time I left it on way too long.
Oh, no.
And it made a red rash of a mustache. So it was kind of the opposite of what I was going for. So those things are dangerous. I don't know. I feel like the youth is embracing body hair a lot more. They don't have like a lot of the shame.
Yeah, and I really like that.
I do too.
I really like that because I just remember you girls remember it was like the worst thing that could possibly happen.
Oh, yeah.
You had a single hair on your body. And remember when Julia Roberts walked the red carpet and she waved her arms and she had let her pits grow? And it was like a giant scandal.
It was a worldwide news story.
And it was like, come on.
I know. Get a grip, everybody.
I don't want the youth to think that I'm just kissing up, but I feel like they have a lot of things figured out. And I feel like they're like kind of kicking ass in a lot of ways.
Yes.
Their comfort with gender fluidity, which I am from a generation where that's still like it involves educating yourself. To them, it's just second nature.
Yeah.
Yes.
So many of the things that I think
body positivity, acceptance.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really And like I was saying earlier about virginity being a social construct, that is something new. I like saw a TikTok on it and I was like, yeah, that's true. That's actually really true. And I wish that would have sort of been taught to me.
Well, what does that mean though? Because
it means that you can't say virginity, because what does that mean? Is that a sexual encounter? Is that an experience? Is that penetrative sex for somebody with a vagina? I mean, you can't say what is virginity because it means something different to everybody. It's
right. Is it a tampon?
Right.
Helen's mom.
Yeah.
Is it riding a horse when you were 7?
That's interesting.
Is it the first time somebody kisses you and you feel something? I mean, it's really not fair to just say that's what it is. I mean, we all have an image of what it is because
That's
again, we
true,
are products
because-
of that.
Yeah,
term.
and especially if you're a lesbian and you know you're a lesbian from an early age and you never hook up with a guy and you never have penetrative sex in that way.
Or you're a gay person, a gay man. And, you know, it's a stupid term. And I don't think we need to shame anybody about if they're a virgin or not, like, or what that even means.
Yeah.
Where was this conversation when I lost my virginity at the very old age of 20 and a half? I think I shared with you guys that I had seen Ace Ventura Pet Detective 2 that night, but I couldn't focus on the movie because I knew I was gonna lose it later.
Hey, I think it's smart to wait. You know what I mean? I waited as well. I was a little bit of a late bloomer myself, and I think that's smart.
But then the next morning, I did not feel good. I felt like I thought I was going to feel so, I don't know, happy and like, oh, now I'm like my friends and stuff. But instead I felt like, and again, this is like totally running counter to what you're saying about it being a construct, or maybe it's illustrating it. But I was like, there was something special and like different about me before, and now I feel like I've lost that thing. What a useless emotion that all was.
Yeah, I've wasted so many hours of my life worried about that. Because I graduated high school a virgin, and I remember I was literally the only one, and I felt like I was damaged. I felt like it was this horrible feeling. So as soon as I got to college, I basically just handed it out. You know what I mean? I was just like, oh, good, let me get this over with, and then I can feel like normal. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should have waited until it was more special.
Yeah.
Maybe that would have been nice. And also, I kind of wish I would have fucked in high school. Why not? You looking back, who cares?
I tried to fuck in high school, and my high school boyfriend wouldn't fuck me because he was Catholic.
Wow. I've learned so many exciting things about Helen in this episode.
Did you
loving
believe,
it.
like, I was the one pressuring him?
Right. What
I was
tactics
like,
did you
come on,
use?
let's do it. And he was like, I can't because of
You were like,
Jesus.
I don't even use tampons, baby. Come on. Let's do this.
He was my first boyfriend ever. I was a senior in high school. He was so sweet, such a sweet boy, kind of goofy. But we were together, like most of senior year, and I was so horny. I was just horny all the time, and I just wanted to. And we would like roll around making out for hours, and I would just be so horny. Yeah. And I was like, stick it in, just stick it in. He'd be like, no, Jesus.
Hoo-hoo-ha-ha.
You wanted it in your hoo-hoo-ha-ha.
I desperately wanted it in my hoo-hoo-ha-ha, but he was like, God is watching and we can't. And I was like, It was the worst. But like you, Jackie, then I gave it away like the second I got to college, and I regret it. Like, and then I felt horrible. I barely knew the guy. I basically lost it in a one-night stand in college, like my first week at college.
Same. First weekend.
Yeah. And I was like, that was stupid. Like, I wish I had lost it to this person that I knew and loved.
But lost it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's just this weird... I want all young people to have an empowering first sexual experience. You know?
Is that
like,
possible? I mean, I
don't
like
have
that
any
too,
issues
but...
with an anus ride.
That's a whole other story.
I think I've talked about this before, but Helen is to tampons as I am to anal sex.
Helen, what are your thoughts?
I made such an SAT question out of that. I'm a butt sex virgin is what I'm saying.
You're a butt sex virgin,
Yeah.
Alison.
Yeah,
okay. And is it... a choice you've made, or you just never got around to it, or like your partner's not into it.
Helen, would your boyfriend have done that? You know, the loophole?
God's blind spot.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about that as an option. And that's
Call him.
That's not where
Helen
I know, I should call
loves
him.
a good cold call.
I love a phone call. Oh my God, I should track it. Hi, remember me? Would you have stuck it in my poopy hole? Had that been an option? No, that's not what I wanted it. I wanted it in my hoo-hoo-ha-ha.
I get you.
That is
We
kind
all
of-
did.
Right there, that's kind of why I haven't. I think I have fear.
Allison, you gotta do it.
I have fear around it. I feel like
just
it's gonna
gotta.
hurt.
You just gotta. I need this for you. You made less money. This is the time. You know what? It's free. It's a free activity.
Wait, Allison, is your husband into it or not into it?
I feel like he would be down if I wanted to, but he
Yeah.
has not felt the need to explore the hind regions.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Well, if you're both on the same page, you're both on the same page, but you brought it up multiple times, at least to me.
Oh, have I?
I have a feeling it's something you're curious about, and I think that's beautiful.
I am. I just need to take a moment to digest the fact that I brought it up multiple times, and it's come up on Childish with Greg Fitzsimmons a lot too. Yeah.
I think you're thinking about it.
It's
you know?
on my
I think you are,
mind.
yeah, and also keep in mind that it could very well be very anticlimactic, because that's how I feel about it. I did it, and I was like,
Like it's just a checking something off the box kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean,
Getting a lot of nods.
I don't know if you should put as much weight on it as like, oh my God, I've never done anal. Dun dun dun.
Tony, if
So many drops.
if you don't save that, I will.
So many drops.
I will. It will be my new ringtone when my parents call me.
I think we need a palate cleanser, and then we need to talk about Jackie's house situation.
We're gonna do our spell. We're gonna do our spell.
Just
Yeah.
to wrap up.
Okay.
That I've done anal a handful of times, and
handful.
eh,
Okay, hang on. A handful. Now, with the
it never became like a regular repertoire for me
But was this with the same person or a handful with different people?
with different people.
Okay, so like with each person at a certain point, you're like, were you hoping it was going to get better, or it just seemed like, oh, why not? We're exploring.
Well, the very first time I did it, I was with my boyfriend at the time had a very petite weenie, shall we say.
That would be comforting in that situation.
He had a petite weenie, and I just felt like, we'd been doing it for a while, and I was like, I don't even know if what's happening, And so I was like, hey, why not try a smaller hole for this petite weenster? And
You didn't say it like that, though, did you?
no, of course not. I didn't. of
But he
course.
had to be aware of it,
But he didn't want to do it, and he didn't like it. Ultimately, so
Interesting.
yeah. So this is what I'm saying is people assume that all men are dying for it, and they're not. And people assume that it's going to change your life somehow, and it's not. I mean, maybe it is the best thing ever, and you think oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever done, but be prepared that it may not be.
No, if I thought it was going to be the best thing I've ever done, I would have sat on that thing a long time ago. No, I think it's going to be scary and uncomfortable, which is why I haven't been. And then I feel like I'll do it, and then mostly I'll be able to say I did it, but I won't be it doesn't sound pleasurable to me. Hence, I haven't been wanting to do it.
Yeah.
Jackie, do you want to weigh in? You don't have to. And Tony, obviously, you can weigh in.
I'll say this. When you have a menu presented in front of you, every once in a while you want to order something a little different.
I am a creature of habit.
It's not something you order every time you go out to eat.
Listen.
But on special occasions.
Jackie,
not?
Allison just wants the General Tso's chicken every time. She's
And
just
that's
a General
beautiful.
Tso's chicken
But
guy.
I'm just saying, you might really like the special of the night. You know what I mean? It might really be something you want to get again and again next time you're there. You know what I mean?
What if I become only butt sex?
A butt slut?
Slut.
What would be the harm in that? You know?
You know,
I know.
that you're a butt slut. Listen, I do not have my ears pierced.
Helen is so pure.
I'm so pure. And
She's
again,
never had a tampon in. And
I could
she
be buried.
doesn't have
I
her
could be
ears-
buried in a Jewish cemetery, Alison.
Yeah.
I'm completely unmarked. But the reason why I don't have my ears pierced is because, again, my extremely strict Korean immigrant religious parents, when I was growing up, thought that painting my nails and getting my ears pierced was like a sign of like the devil.
Wow.
And so my mother absolutely prohibited. And then, you know, and so then I desperately wanted it when I was in high school. But then by the time I got out of college, I was like, I don't even care anymore. Like, I've lived this long with it. So do you know what I mean? Like,
That's kind of how I am.
when I was in high school and college, my wanting to get my ears pierced was your wanting butt sex.
Yes. Do you wear clip-on earrings ever?
Sometimes I do. But
And
but it's not.
has your hairy sister gotten her ears pierced? I'm so sorry. I said that to be funny. That is rude. I'm sorry. Has your sister gotten her ears pierced?
My hairy ass sister totally has her ears pierced and got her ears pierced in high school, because by the time my sister was in high school, my mom was like, oh, I don't even care anymore. I was like, what the
Do you know if your sister has ever ordered off the special menu?
I've never asked her that. And I don't know.
I have never asked my sister either. I don't know. That's quite an enigma to me.
What if I'd asked my sisters? I'm the one person that's asked their sisters.
Have you?
Well-
Tony's
No.
like, oh yeah, my sister's totally done it up the butt.
I have not asked, and I would like to move on.
You know what? This episode is all about the front and the back. We've really gone south.
This is a 360.
Tony's sphincter is so tight right now, thinking about asking his sisters if they've done butt stuff.
I would text my sister and ask her right now. I mean, she'd probably tell me.
Do it.
Do it.
Well, you probably should let her know it's. No,
She doesn't want her shit on the internet. No. I'll tell y'all later. But she doesn't. She's like a real person with like a job
Yes.
and children. And stuff.
Same with my
She's not a
sister.
psycho like us that overshares the world. This is why my husband can never run for office. People are always like, "Oh, is Ben going to run for office?" I'm like, he literally can't. There's tape of me talking about anal and my pussy and everything else.
But that's you. It's International Women's Day. It's
It's
you,
true.
not him.
Celebrate it.
Okay. Palette cleanser. Then Tony has a commercial to share with us, and then we got to get into our spell. But I want to tell you guys I have a brand new sponsor. I'm so excited about them. They're called Bloomscape. They sell indoor and outdoor plants. I now have a giant, extra large size Chinese fan palm in my living room in a pot. I got my choice of colors. It is in a slate pot. It is bringing so much life and greenery and beauty to my living room. We had been wanting to get a tree for a while, but I'm a person who, my whole thing is like, I need to be a more effective person. Because I want to do that, but there's so many options I don't know. And then Bloomscape stepped into my life, and now we have the tree of our dreams. It's been a long winter. Oh, but I should say, it's not just trees. They have little plants. They have medium. They have large. They have extra large. They have all sorts of stuff. They also have new outdoor bloom kits, which is a easy, convenient way to get growing. It's been a long winter stuck indoors, but warmer days are almost here. Say it with me. Spring is coming. So let's get ready to shake off the winter gloom. Throw open your front door, back door, any door will do. Let's get outside, people. And if your home isn't quite the oasis you've always envisioned yet, check out Bloomscape. They make it easy to grow the lush springtime retreat of your dreams. The new outdoor bloom kits from Bloomscape are exactly what we all need right now. It's the easiest, most convenient way to get growing. Shop a variety of young plants, accessories, tools, and supplies. Everything you need to get your patio or porch springtime ready. Bloomscape's bloom kits are completely customizable, mix and match sizes and colors. And since no two plants are alike, Bloomscape makes it easy to filter plants by how much light or attention they'll need. Oh, also, like I chose kid safe and pet safe. So there's all sorts of, you can just dial it in. Get 15% off plant orders of $100 with promo code Alison at bloomscape.com. Again, that's 15% off plant orders of 100% or more at bloomscape.com, promo code Alison. Bloomscape.com, promo code Alison. This sort of goes with some of the things we've been talking about. I want to tell you guys about MeUndies. Tony, you mentioned wanting more revealing underwear. MeUndies is where you should go. Daniel and I have matching underwear. We don't wear it at the same time because we're not like that, but we could if we wanted to. Dan, if you open up Daniel's underwear drawer, it's just a sea of MeUndies. That's how much he loves them. I love them too. Super comfortable, super cute patterns. It's time we stopped messing around about funny things and talked about something really serious and important, your underwear. That's right. MeUndies believes undies are something that should be yelled about from the rooftops or shown off in mirror selfies for Instagram. They're not undie shy. So let's talk. MeUndies isn't just here to make sure every booty is comfortable, but they're also limiting the amount of laundry you have, which is thoughtful. They designed a membership that not only saves you 30% on each order, but delivers a fun new pair of undies or socks right to your door each month. Plus, you're the boss. You can control your shipments, and you also get early access to their most exclusive prints. MeUndies are offered in a range of sizes, including extra small to 4XL. And now that everyone has worked from home, they also offer the softest loungewear. Fill your closet with things you actually want to put on. To get your 15% off your first order, free shipping, a 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/Alison. That's MeUndies.com/Alison. MeUndies.com/Alison. All right, so before we were talking about nads, Tony, you have the commercial, right? It's super long, but just a portion of it.
Oh, it's a super long one? I didn't know there was a specific one you wanted. I literally just found one, because I saw a bunch of infomercial clips, and then I found one that just said, Nads Hair Removal Real People Commercial.
Ooh, let's hear it.
All right.
Real girls. Real women. Real blokes.
Real what?
Real blokes.
Blokes. Voted best brand in hair removal by real people.
So I guess it's more of a visual.
Yeah. I didn't get to check it ahead of time because you guys would have heard it as well, so I just had to go for it.
Okay. I am curious if you guys watched the Meghan Markle Harry thing, but I also want to do our incantation for Jackie's house. Which should we do first?
I think we should do the manifestation.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
okay.
same.
This was something that was talked about before we started. Jackie, tell us. So Jackie's house hunting right now.
Yes, and it's very competitive, and I've said on this very show that we gave up at one point because I refused to participate in this market because it's so offensive. But here we are again. What can I say?
What part is offensive to
Glutton
you?
for punishment. The price. The price.
Yeah.
And also the competitive nature. And just the way it all makes you feel.
Yes.
You know, everything in LA is competitive. You can't get a parking spot. You know, you can't book a commercial. This whole town, everywhere you go, goes, we're full. We don't want you here. And I've been here 15 years. It's exhausting. And, you know, now I'm trying to like put roots down, and it's just very competitive, and it's a battle. And you know, so I'm not trying to get my hopes up. But I hate everything. I'm very picky, and this is a very big decision and a big purchase.
I saw your Instagram stories about bowl sinks, and I agree with you.
Oh, yeah. I've looked at so many houses, and most of them virtual, and just I think it was like the mid-2000s when those bowl sinks were like a moment.
I hate those things so much.
There's so many houses that have not been remodeled, and they're just, the bowl sinks are everywhere, and I just cringe. I mean, sometimes they're really, really ugly, and they can be okay, but no.
You know what you could do is buy the house, and once you own the house, rip out the bowl sink.
Yes.
And just take a sledgehammer. Yeah, take a sledgehammer to it. That'll be very cathartic.
Yeah, that would be fun actually. To maybe I'll do that because this house we want to redo the floors, so that would be really fun to sledgehammer the floors.
So you put an offer in on a house, but you're trying not to get your hopes up.
Yes, and for people who don't know, because Ben's parents thought this was absolutely wacky, you have to write a letter.
Yes,
and I'm sure Helen knows about this because Helen bought a house last year.
It's so true.
Alison bought a house. You have to write a letter pleading for them to let you buy the house.
It's the
and you have
weirdest
to
thing.
connect with them. Like you have to pick things in the house about it and like have a personal anecdote. Like it's a whole thing. You have to put photos. I mean, I attach photos of my dog and I put like a rainbow filter
It's
on
like
it.
a date. It's like you're on a
A
dating
dating
app or
profile.
something, and you're desperately trying to get these home sellers to sell to you.
Yes,
And
because
you're
literally
trying-
40 people could be trying to get the house.
and you're trying to make yourself sound as appealing as possible. And like
Yes.
I wrote the letter
weird.
and I attached pictures of my dog.
Yeah,
I mean,
same.
It was ridiculous.
But it worked. You got your house.
I got my house.
I put
Yeah.
a picture of Elliot, who was less than 1 at the time, or around, less than 1, sitting next to suitcases. And I was like, look, Elliot's all ready to move in. I mean, that's
Hey,
exploitative.
it worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
I guess.
Let them
I don't know.
that
I
you're
mean-
willing to explore the menu a little bit.
Can you imagine? I should have had Helen write my letter.
Oh my God.
I'm pristine. My ears are not pierced. I've never had a tampon in me.
Hi.
I belong in your beautiful home.
I'm extremely virginal, and I would
Except-
love to do butt stuff in your house
Just a handful of times.
as my house. I would love to be in your house and do butt stuff, but only a handful of times.
I should have put that in mine. I mean, we wrote this amazing letter. There's like peach walls in this house, and I was like, I have a peach sapphire ring, and it reminds me of the sunset over the Pasadena hills. I mean, I got real poetic. I don't know. Maybe I bit me up myself in the ass. I don't know.
Would you keep the peach walls?
I would keep the peach walls, and I told him that.
I
told him
honestly don't think that the letter makes any difference. I think
Yeah.
that it's basically like
The highest bid.
the money. I
Yeah.
mean, nobody's gonna.
Let's be honest.
Nobody's gonna take even a $10,000 less offer because of
Right.
the letter that they liked.
Right.
But in this market, no one offers asking, right? You can't. You have to offer over asking.
Mm-hmm.
So if like 7 people all offer the same amount we did, I mean, I had a friend tell me the other day, they put them face down and swirl them around and grab one.
No,
There's no way. I mean, how do you choose? If the 4 of us had put in letters, how would you choose?
The butt
I have-
stuff
You have a
one.
little boy on luggage. You have a beautiful husky mix.
Yeah.
You have a Frenchie, and you have my dog, and you have a family, and everybody's beautiful.
I would
and
have
we all
put.
want
I
to
would
live
have
there.
put. Well, in this between, if I was competing against the 3 of you, I would put the picture of my dog, and then I would have put a picture of my butthole.
Yes,
Say, hey,
spread.
been, this has been a handful of times. This
Yeah.
has been an entrance hole.
It
But see,
is
what
really
if
offensive.
what if they wanted a pristine? Because then Alison would get the house.
Oh shit!
Honestly,
And-
I don't.
And
feel
then
like-
there's me, a cavernous cave, echoing throughout the house.
my sense is that mine doesn't look pristine, though, and I'm not talking about like hygiene or anything. I just feel like, despite the fact that I have there's not a lot of miles on that hole, none really. I feel like it looks worse for the wear. It's just my
I don't
sense
think
of
it
my own
does.
butt.
No,
Thank
I don't
you.
think it does.
I don't think I've looked at my butthole in like a decade.
Oh, take a
Really? I look
gander.
at mine every
Oh.
day.
Really?
Oh, I spread it every time I get a shower just to see what's going on.
Really? What are you looking for?
I just check it out, you know?
And you just stick a mirror down there, and you're like,
No, when I get a shower, I just spread a little, take a look. I don't like get in there.
got it. In the,
Just in the
like
mirror.
in the bathroom mirror.
Yeah. I don't get like my nice, like this mirror out.
Yeah.
Your glam
Oh
set.
God, that's lit
Glam
up
core.
and everything. Oh my
I don't
God,
do
can you
this.
imagine? Can you imagine?
Maybe I will
Your lit-
tonight.
Your lighted makeup mirror down by your bunghole, like
Like a
Oh.
tiny butthole ring light.
I don't want to see that. I mean,
No.
I love it. It's a beautiful part of my body, but I don't need to see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, my
so
house.
So I think because Jackie
Hang on.
was saying,
Real quick, before you say that, I just have a quick question as a person who has never attempted to buy a house.
Yes.
This letter, is that literally required and
At this
of
point,
you,
yes.
or it's like a thing like you're supposed
No,
to.
It's not required.
The realtor says they strongly recommend because everyone else will be writing this letter.
And the idea is people have emotional attachments to their home. So they might,
right.
and they always have these stories about, like, despite what everyone just said of it's the money that talks, because I do think it's the money that talks, but they're like, yeah, you know, they saw a young family that they reminded them of them when they moved into the house, and so they chose them.
I think if the money part is equal, like Jackie, like you were saying, if there are 7 people who put in the same offer, then it does become a matter of like, well, who do we like the best?
But you never know. One little thing in your letter could have them hate you. It's just like a dating profile. You're like, why did he mention pickles twice? What a psycho. Like, you just never know how you're going to come off. So it's kind of scary.
It's true. And like I put mostly pictures of my dog because the sellers I knew had 2 huskies.
Oh, that's
good.
good.
Because we happened to walk by on a day that they were home and they were just coming out to walk their dogs.
Nice.
And so I saw their huskies and I was like, oh my God, my husky's in the car. So like, that's why my whole letter was just pictures of my husky.
You're so lucky. You realize the only reason you got your house was because they were husky people too.
Yes.
Truly.
And I was like, oh my God, and the doggy door is perfect. Like, if there wasn't a doggy door, I would put one in. And like, it means so much that my dog will have a doggy door to get out to his wonderful new yard. Like, I fucking poured it on thick.
Helen played that one right.
I exploited Dodger like nobody's business.
Can I tell you another time that I had to write a similar letter? And if any of the people who received this letter are listening, it was true, but we were strong. It was strongly recommended to us that when we applied to Elliot's preschool, and I say we because really it was more us applying than Elliot, we write a letter. And that was a similar, like, pouring it, and now I'm hesitant, pouring it on thick.
That's another racket in this town. I mean, I have friends who literally were giving birth and their husbands were on the phone getting them on lists of elementary schools and shit.
So,
like, that's a whole other racket in this town.
I had a similar reaction, Jackie, that you initially had to the house thing of like, this is offensive to me. I am not going to participate. I am not going to lose sleep over where my kid's going to go to preschool.
Right.
And then all these other moms I knew who had kids similar ages were already starting to look, and I was like, oh, fuck. Should I? And I didn't do my due diligence, but we ended up at a really good preschool where I sent them quite a letter. Okay, so Jackie was saying that she doesn't want to get her hopes up, and then Helen, you said something about we would set an intention.
I think we should do a manifestation, and I think that the way that we should do it is, Jackie, I think you should like visually take us through the like you bought the house. The house is yours. Like, what's the first thing you're going to do? What are you going to hang up on the walls? Like, what colors are you going to change? Like, just take a couple of minutes to visually take us through because the house is yours.
And I'm going to light the candle because I think candles have magic powers.
Yes.
Is this a bless your heart shade?
No,
candle?
my microphone is actually on the bless your heart candle. See Patreon.
Look at that.
Because it was a perfect. This is another random candle that I was given at some point, but it's pink and like, special. Okay, so so welcome to my house. Okay. And I would tell y'all the name of the street because I love it, but I can't because it's a cul-de-sac. There's only 3 houses. And if I told you could find where I live, I don't want that to happen. No. Okay. So welcome to my house, honey. It's a mid-century, all one level, honey. It's flat. And you enter the home and immediately you see the beautiful kidney bean pool outside in the backyard. And it's a beautiful California indoor-outdoor living, honey. Indoor-outdoor living. We have cypress trees. We have bougainvillea. We have landscaping, honey. It's 4 bedrooms. It's 4 bedrooms.
4 bedrooms.
One of them would be for the mother-in-law. One of them would be my podcast room. And one of them would be for the baby. I'm going to have a Jewish baby. I'm going to have a Jewish baby. And my Jewish baby's going to grow up in that house. And we're going to do holiday decorations. But we're going to do Judaica. We're going to do Judaica. I'm going to have blue and white. Like, those little like icicle lights I'm going to do like blue and white icicle lights and get a big menorah for the front yard.
Where it like in the front yard.
In the front yard, honey.
Okay.
And I might hire some of my unemployed improviser friends to like dress up in characters and like say hello to everybody, because holiday decorations in this neighborhood, they go big.
Like a Fiddler on the Roof kind of
I mean, I don't
costume?
know. I don't know. I think just general holiday cheer.
Yes, I like that.
You know, like I don't want to put anything to it. Although I'm not putting green or red. That's where I draw the line. It's going to be Judaica. It's going to be blue and silver.
Got it.
And then in my bedroom, there's a fireplace. Ooh. Because it's a beautiful mid-century home. And Ben already told me I can paint the bathroom pink. And the kitchen needs to be remodeled. And guess what? I'm going to remodel the shit out of that kitchen. I'm going to remodel the shit. I'm going to get a farm sink. Do you have a farm sink, Allison?
Yeah, ours is not white on the inside, it's silver, but farm just refers to the size, right?
Yes.
Then yes, we do.
Helen, what about you?
No, I don't. I have a lame, just split level. No, but
Yeah, I don't.
I love
that
a farm.
shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. I
You can
want a
wash
big
a
old
dog in it.
sink.
Or a
I want a
baby.
big old sink in there. I'm gonna pick out what I want. I have a breakfast nook, and I'm gonna make my breakfast and sit there.
Oh, a nook.
I'm gonna do anal in the bedroom
With the fire roaring.
with the
A handful
fire
of times.
going.
A
That
handful of
fire
times.
and let it burn, baby. Let it burn.
Yay!
That was beautiful.
I thought that was great, Jackie, and I really want this house for you.
Thank you. But again, we can't get our hopes up. I mean, they're literally looking at the offers now. I just got a text from my realtor. She said, anxiously awaiting to hear something tomorrow.
God, way to
knows?
lay it on, realtor. Come on.
I know. Well, we're excited.
Do you know how much money realtors make on selling a house? It is insane.
How much is it? Is it 5% or 10?
No. Oh, I think it's like 3%, but that's still a lot.
But no, it is. We did the math the other day, and I was like, oh, shit. That adds to the house price.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely, it does. That's why if you're experienced, they say don't go with a realtor. Just do it yourself with a lawyer, you know?
Oh, wow. Because I feel like there's just so much, especially if it's your first time
Oh,
buying.
my
you gotta
God.
have
I could
somebody.
never have done it because we didn't even know the first thing that needed to get done.
Right.
And I hated my realtor.
Why?
Hated her. Hated.
Wow.
Just, she sucked. Like, she sucks. She had way too many clients. And she was stretched way too thin, and like we could never get a hold of her when we needed her. And she was like super not aggressive on our behalf. We got like bad information. Like, somebody on her team was like, "Oh, the sellers are moving to Texas in a rush, and I think they really are trying to get rid of all their stuff. So let me know if there's stuff that you want, because they're desperate to get rid of everything." And so we were like, sure. We sent them this list. It was a ridiculous, like, we'll take the TV, like, we'll take the dining room table. Like, and then we met them and they were like, I was like, oh, I heard you're moving to Texas. And they're like, no.
Oh, no.
What?
And
You
we're
think she
like,
mixed it up with another client?
oh, and she's like, no, we're just moving like 4 hours. We're moving up north, but only 4 hours. And I was like, oh, my realtor told us you were trying to get rid of everything. That's why we asked you for all your stuff. And she was like, no.
That's why we
Like, she must have
cannibalized all your
thought,
items.
that's why she must have thought we were crazy. Like, she must have been like, why the fuck would we give you our TV?
I'm crazy?
And so I hated our realtor so much.
Dang.
I would never use them again. Never.
Did you blast them on Yelp?
I didn't. Should I? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, there's so many people who are bad at their jobs. And it's one of those things like, if you can't say something nice, don't say it at all. But
Yeah.
also, it's such a competitive business. The bad people shouldn't be working. They shouldn't get more business.
I agree with that. Yeah, I guess I didn't want to like go out of my way with the negativity, but
Right.
yeah, she saw, I mean, there was like a major thing that she missed in our house inspection.
Oh, no.
And then we closed and this thing wasn't done. Like there was a gas line fix that
ain't
was
cheap.
on the responsibility of the seller. And then like nobody caught it. The inspector didn't, like, she didn't catch it. And then like we move in the day of, and like I'm like, this thing isn't done. And like, thank God the sellers were people with integrity, because they would have been like, peace out, the deal's already done, you guys are fucked. They could have easily done that to us, the sellers. But because they had integrity, they were like, oh, sorry, I guess this slipped through the cracks. And they came back.
Oh, wow, you're lucky.
Did your inspector not find it, or you didn't notice it in the inspection?
The inspector found it and said, this needs to be done, and it needs to be done by the seller. It's the seller's responsibility to put this, it's some sort of gas plug. I don't know. I have no idea, but it was like some sort of like earthquake proofing gas like plug thing. And he was like, this is absolutely 100% the seller's responsibility, and they have to do it. But we closed, and like my realtor didn't catch it and then I moved in, and I was the one that was like, hey, did that thing get done? She was like, I don't know.
See, I think, and if you're a realtor, let me know how true this is. I think realtors get to a point where they want to be done with it. They want their check, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they're like, let's just push this through. Like our inspector, who our realtor had recommended, and I know that my realtor for a period of time was listening to my podcast. If he's still listening, hello, I love you. I hope you're doing well. But this was weird. Our inspector missed a whole, like our plumbing was all fucked. And apparently it was like, obviously, like if you know anything about plumbing, once you look under the house, you would see that everything was angled wrong and stuff. And our inspector didn't notice that, which seems very suspicious to me. So I mean, it's fine. We paid and got it fixed, and everything's okay now. But I'm like, was there a sort of like, hey, I really need them to buy this house discussion that happened? Does that even happen?
I feel like in my experience, there's a lot of that. Yeah. Because they have relationships with each other, which is why your realtor is always the one that's suggesting my inspector that I always go to. They have a long-standing relationship. So the inspector that they choose is not necessarily looking out for you.
Yeah, that's actually some advice maybe that I would give would be get an independent inspector.
Yeah, because I actively hated my realtor. Her name is Tiffany Chin, by the way. I hate her.
Naming a name. I love it.
Hey, I think it's important,
yeah.
And the inspection, I mean, I've heard escrow is just a nightmare. Every night of it, you're up. It's just a mess. And I've only been on the other side of it because Ben sold his condo, So, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We shouldn't even be getting our hopes up, everybody.
No, but I did enjoy our manifestation. Did you guys watch the Meghan Markle Harry thing last night?
Of course.
Okay.
Helen, did you?
I didn't, but I heard the highlights. I mean, I didn't even, I feel like I didn't even have to watch it because my Twitter was blowing up about it.
I watched every second of it. Did you, Tony?
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
Oh, wow.
Tony!
Oh, wow.
What rock
Tony.
are you under?
Do you know
He's
who
been playing
we're
Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I know
He
who
was
you're
playing Animal
talking
Crossing
about.
all damn night.
Let's not worry about that.
Well, I saw the first chunk of it. I can't wait for the kids to go to bed so I can watch the rest of it. I didn't think I cared because I saw people Instagramming like, can't wait for Super Bowl to start, and they were super into it. And I was like, I just don't care. And then I was very captivated by it.
It was so explosive. The bits that I saw were like, what? Like, if you say something that can make Oprah Winfrey go, excuse me?
Yeah, I know.
Like long silence
goes,
and then
she
go,
goes, "What?
excuse me? Or what? Like, that's freaking explosive because Oprah has heard everything.
She sure has.
And so if Oprah is like taking, like needs a minute, like Oprah needed a minute. She was silent for like a good few seconds and she was like, what?
You're
like,
talking about the bombshell that the monarchy was concerned about how dark the baby's skin was going to be, right?
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy, yeah.
I cried several times.
Did you?
Yeah. I just felt, I don't know, I could see a pain. I could see a real pain and I could see how difficult it was to go where she was going and how brave that, I cried a couple times. I cried at that moment. Imagine being a mother.
I know.
Like, having somebody say, it was wild. And I'll say this, Oprah looked snatched. That we did a whole segment on National Beauty about Oprah's look. I think she outshined Megan, honestly. And Megan looked stunning.
Megan did look stunning.
Yeah,
Oprah did
her
look
skin is
snatched.
so beautiful. Oprah had on purple, deep purple eyeshadow and a frosty purple lip. It was iconic. And I know we throw that phrase around. It was iconic.
What was going on with Oprah's frames? Because it looked like they were very thick glass. Was it thick glass or was that the actual
That's
frame?
the frame.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a segment on Nash Beauty about this as well. They are very expensive glasses from Switzerland.
Wow.
They're literally like 12 grand.
And Jesus. Also,
Yeah.
whose house was that? Because I was like, look at Oprah's
It was
amazing
a rental.
backyard.
No, it was a rental. They just rented it for the shoot. They
Well-
said that at the top.
No, I know. They said that this is a house. But I thought maybe it was like a friend of theirs' house or something.
No, somebody, you can put your house on those websites and
Right.
book them for shoots.
Well,
Who
it
knows?
was very
since it
nice.
was.
It's very
I want rescued chickens, though.
same,
Yeah.
same.
You do?
Oh, yeah. I already have them all named.
Well, we must know the names.
Okay, we can manifest this, too.
Okay.
Although this house, I don't think I can have chickens at it. It's not the mood.
Yeah.
So this would be next house.
I'm
but
also in a house, a chickenless house.
a chickenless zone.
Yeah.
My chickens so far I have Tammy and Shania.
Oh, those are good names.
Yeah, and I want to rescue them. I thought I was Googling how to rescue chickens because we did put an offer on this one house that we could have had them.
They have them. They sometimes just pop up at the city shelters.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, they're on Pet Finder.
Yeah, like this, like South LA shelter is like within 1 mile of my house, and I fostered a couple of dogs from South LA shelter, also known as Chesterfield Square, and they routinely have chickens. They've had ducks, they have rabbits, like they have lizards and snakes.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, what? Is there an animal you guys don't take in? And they're like, horses.
I wonder where
They're
they
hard to
like.
feed.
Is it like I can no longer care for these chickens and this duck, or are they just strays?
A lot of times they get called. So my old neighbors in Silver Lake, they had 2 roosters, and the roosters started just obviously crowing, and then somebody complained, and somebody came and like took the roosters from them.
that's
and
kinda
it was really
sad.
sad. I liked them; they were cute, and like they kind of spiced up the neighborhood. I didn't mind them. I love an animal. But, there's a lot of people who adopt animals and then they end up realizing, oh shit, this animal is a lot harder to take care of than I thought.
See, I would want chickens here, except not a rooster though, just hens.
Yeah.
Except I feel like, according to Nextdoor, there's a real coyote problem, and I feel like that's just real. You're just putting bait in your backyard,
Well, they'd have to sleep in their coop.
right? But still,
Yeah, they don't free range all night. They go in their coop at night.
Right, but I still suspect that the coyotes can sniff them. I don't know if that's true or not. but-
Yeah,
I think you're right. I think that you'd have to have some sort of like gating or some sort of security measurement. Also, chickens, even non-roosters,
They're up
hens,
early.
Like they're loud. They're loud.
They're loud. They coo. And my mom has chickens, and they're a whole thing.
They're a whole thing.
My mom had chickens delivered to her in the mail.
That's what they do. It's so. That's so
Like in a FedEx box?
I hate it, obviously. Like people that know my beliefs, like I hated that when she told me. It made me so angry. But like, yeah, they come in a box in the mail.
yeah.
What?
I think a lot of them don't make it that way.
No, they don't, and it's disgusting, and I hate
no.
it. That's why I want to rescue chickens. I'm not gonna perpetuate the chicken industry.
Not the chicken in the mail industry.
No,
Well,
no.
like- What kind of box are they shipped in? Just a box?
Like one of those little Amazon pouches. I'm just kidding. I don't know. No, I don't know. It's whatever it is. It's not okay if you ask me.
Oh no.
I'm sure it has holes, but it's like they get jostled.
Right.
Yeah.
It's horrible. I hate it.
My fear would be that I would receive a package that I didn't know had live animals in it. And then, because I don't open stuff that I get right away, I would just like leave it in the corner and then they'd die on me.
I think you would know.
You wouldn't notice that the package is like cooing and
Yeah, you
Right.
would notice.
I
and
know.
I think it says live chickens across it. I would like to hope.
your package is like, "Ah!"
You'd hope, but I don't know. Elliot had a dream last night. He woke up this morning saying that he wonders if Grandma, when she comes to visit us, can bring 4 puppies, 2 brown, 2 blue.
Oh, wow.
But he means real puppies. And then
yeah.
he wanted to know if
Pretty
he could.
easy ask.
He wanted to know if he
It's a
could
lot
call.
of dogs.
I know. He wanted to know if he could call her. So I let him FaceTime her. And I feel like maybe I should have run some interference instead of just like shipping this one off to Grandma. Like, you handle this. But I don't know. And here's the weird thing. The brown ones are chocolate and the blue ones are raspberry. But these are real dogs. But they say woof woof and they also talk.
But what do you mean? Like they're scented or
I
they
have-
taste like that?
You have to ask a 4-year-old. I don't know.
Wow. Because, pit bulls come in blue and brown.
Yes. I don't think he's been watching Blue's Clues though.
Oh.
I don't think he means blue like the dog color blue. I think he means actually blue.
Blue's Clues blue.
Yeah. Let's do a couple, just me or everyone's, and then let's call it a night.
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought or done. Is it just me or everyone?
Okay, Shells says, seriously considering not exercising today because I am having a good hair day and don't want to ruin it by washing. Just me or everyone. I think that's pretty common.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I'll take
100%.
any excuse not to exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. And if my hair looks like amazing, I won't. Yeah, I'll sleep like an Egyptian mummy.
Yeah, I'll stand up and sleep.
Yeah.
Have you ever, if you have like your makeup professionally done, have you ever left it on? I haven't, but I have been tempted. If I had something in the evening, I think there was one time in my life where I was doing a show in the evening, and so I had my makeup professionally put on, and then I had like an appointment in the morning where I needed to have the makeup on, and I was like, I should just leave this on, but I didn't.
No, because it never stays the way you want it to stay.
No.
Yeah, it would not hold.
Yeah.
Okay. Shara Schaefer, I have a touch of anxiety when I hear the garbage truck as I begin to wonder if I threw away something important. Well, I don't have that, but maybe I should.
Oh.
No, I've never
Now
had
I
that
will.
Yeah.
Thanks for
I've never had that, but I completely understand that neuroses.
Thanks for injecting a new anxiety on us,
Yeah.
Sarah.
Yeah, I don't do that, but if I'm like in public or something and maybe I had like a coffee or something in one hand and my phone in the other, and then when I go to throw it out, even though I'm watching what I'm doing, I'm still very paranoid that I'm going to put my phone in the trash.
I have fully thrown out very expensive teeth retainers,
Oh, that's such a common thing.
and then had to sprint back to the public trash can, and be like, I've been like caught rummaging through a Starbucks trash can, and people were like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "My teeth."
Did you
are in
have
there."
them wrapped in a napkin?
in a napkin? Of
Yeah.
course,
Rookie move.
totally.
The
rookie
napkin
move.
wrap is a rookie move.
Oh God, I have thrown. Listen to this. I threw out my retainers on an airplane.
Sorry.
Where I gave them, I threw them into the trash.
And you're like,
Flight
here,
attendant.
take these.
Yeah, and I could take these. And then like 3 hours later, I'm like, and I had to go back and beg the flight attendant to let me rummage through the trash. And
Did you
they
find
did,
them?
and I found them.
Did you do Invisalign, I'm assuming?
I did do Invisalign,
Yeah.
and I had the permanent retainer with the metal thing in them. And I have thrown them out in so many rookie move napkin roll-ups. And then eventually I just lost them for good. I have no idea where they are.
I moved into an apartment in New York that had a trash chute, which I still miss having a trash chute. And I opened it up and threw away the trash and my keys the day I moved in.
God.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to go down to the basement where like all the trash just comes out. And the guy actually looked with me through all the trash, but it was
that's
pretty
nice.
gross.
That's nice of him.
It was nice. Okay. Angela says, just mirror everyone. You quote unquote take medicine and quote unquote get a shot. People keep saying they're taking the vaccine instead of getting the vaccine. Is this a regional thing? I'm with her. You take medicine, you get a shot.
Yeah, same.
I don't think I've heard people say that they're taking the vaccine. I
No,
feel like
me neither.
everybody says getting. Isn't that what they
I'd
said?
like
They
to
said
take
people
the
say
vaccine.
That's what I've heard people say get the vaccine.
Yeah,
But
me
she's
too.
in Orange County, I think. So who knows what they do?
Have any of you gotten the vaccine?
No.
No, we're all so low on the list.
Tony and I had a text convo a few days ago going, hey, you heard any scoop? You heard where you could get them? But both of us came up dry on that
Oh,
end.
yeah, we're so because we're seen as non-essential.
We're young and healthy and vibrant.
yeah, and non-essential. God,
I know, that's another thing that really kicked my ass last year. I was like, what am I doing? I'm not, I was like, I'm not essential in any
Yeah.
way. Literally, if you look down it's like agriculture, it's like everything. And then media. And I don't even think I'm media. I'm like, is there an other?
I did have that thought last year of like, there are people doing such important things for the world.
Yeah.
Well, we just told everybody about our pussies and buttholes.
Yeah, that's important. Honestly, that is important though.
No, it is. People need entertainment and laughter and brevity right now. If we didn't have that, and honestly, if I didn't have this, I would never talk to anybody. I need this. It's my socialization.
Same. Isn't it so weird the way a year of our lives just went by?
It's
though?
gone. I know. We all had a quarantine birthday. Every single person.
It's yeah, and it's like right around this time because everyone's posting like
Yeah.
especially stand up. This is around the time where everybody's last live stand up show was, and so it's just like what? I mean, that's it. It's like part of it. It went by so fast, and part of it's like that was the longest fucking year of my life.
It's so
Right.
it's crazy because I remember at the beginning, Kevin Porter, were you on that show, Jackie? Was like, I think we're gonna still be in our homes in December, and I was like, "Are you?"
I remember he said
and that sounded so. It was so mentally uncomfortable to imagine because this was in April, I think, to imagine that. And I remember, I think on the first episode, maybe Jenna said that her kid's preschool was the first episode in quarantine. So in March, Jenna was like, "Yeah, the preschool is closed until June or July." And we were like, oh my God, just having no idea of how long it was going to be.
Well,
It's so weird to be on
I
the other
mean,
side of it now.
I remember I was at your house, Alison.
Yes.
Y'all were the last people I saw. I was with Tony and Kenneth Reed and you.
Same.
And Ken had just flown here, and he was like, people had masks on the plane. Like, we all had no idea what was going on.
I know.
And we locked down that week.
We were so innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at your house on Monday. We locked down Friday.
Yeah. That's
Right.
right. Yeah.
I
You're the
remember
last people I was in a room with, literally.
I ordered all these extra microphone foams thinking I'm still going to be able to do my Monday one-on-one show in person, but I want to make people feel comfortable by having like their own microphone thing. And and I remember my concern was prescription drugs. Those might become hard to get. So you got to get a few months of those. Like we just had no idea.
We had no clue.
We had no idea that we were going to be fighting for toilet paper.
Yeah.
Like,
Even in
it was a shock.
2019,
Like our
I'm like,
lives depended on it.
I look at my photos on my phone like pretty often, like when I was like in Puerto Rico or at a concert in 2019. I'm like, wow, we had no clue. We had no idea that in a few months our whole lives would change.
I
A year at least.
recently looked back at a post that I posted in April, and it was when everybody was watching Tiger King.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like one of the posts was, oh God, day whatever of quarantine, when will it end? And that was April. And I wanted to be like, girl, buckle up.
Right.
Buckle up, girl.
I know. That's what I mean. It's weird because we all complained about it at the beginning and then just sort of settled in and like so much, it's just crazy that this much time has passed. It sort of makes you realize, and this is I'm not saying it's the same at all, but like people who are hostages or in something like that situation where it's like, oh my God, how were you in that situation for years? It's like your brain just sort of normalizes whatever weird thing it is. That was super problematic. I'm not saying we're all hostages, but it's less than ideal.
I ain't touching that one. First the spa music, now this.
Listen, if you enjoy or you don't enjoy what you're hearing, I beg of you, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts. 5 stars is the best if that feels true to who you are. And make sure you're subscribed, tell your friends, etc. Also, the Monday shows are on YouTube, youtube.com/Alison Rosen, Allie Ward, Phil Rosenthal, Lorraine Newman, Bobby Moynihan, just a few of the many people I had on recently. And Kulop and Suchin are going to be on the next Monday show.
Oh, I love them. They're the
best.
best.
They're the best. So please subscribe to that, youtube.com/Alison Rosen. I'm on Cameo. And also, as I've mentioned, I'm on patreon.com. /Alison Rosen. Bonus episodes, Zoom parties, behind the scenes content, this special video that right here of what you've been hearing. And please follow me on Twitter and Instagram @Alison Rosen. Helen, what should we look out for from you?
Oh, I just launched a new YouTube channel with my dad.
What?
Love it.
Super cute. It's partially in response to the horrible racist attacks on old Asian people that has been happening across the country. But also because my parents are super cute. So my YouTube channel is called Old Korean Dad Stories and sometimes Mom. That's what it's called.
Everyone go sign up. Subscribe to that.
And it's great. And it's like, my dad is so cute. My parents are in their 70s. They have like incredible life stories. And I just Zoom with them. And yeah, it's great. Old Korean Dad Stories and sometimes Mom.
Love it. And then also your podcast, Go Fact Yourself and Jobsolete.
Correct. Thank you.
Wonderful. Jackie, what about you?
You know what? I have a Patreon as well. Patreon.com/Jackie Johnson. I just did an episode about Judaism and my conversion, and the honeys loved it. So we're always up to something on the Patreon. And then there's, of course, An Attribute, which is a weekly podcast about beauty and self-care. And Helen, I'm going to email you to come on.
Yes.
Even though I feel like I know so much more about you this episode. I know about your ears and your tampons. But we need to talk about self-care, what self-care looks like to Helen Hong. Mm-hmm. So come check it out, everybody. New episodes every Thursday.
Wonderful. And Tony?
Well, first off, I want to apologize to the 3 of you and anybody watching on Patreon, because I feel like half this episode was me turning around and seeing what's going on with the dog. He's normally very mellow, and he's just like getting into everything tonight. And
what's he doing back there?
Noise. He's just like exploring. He's like a fucking cat. He's so curious about everything.
Is he looking at the light? Oh my God, he's so funny.
He's so cute.
Oh my God, he
He's
is
so
perched on the
funny.
arm of your... we're just looking at a Frenchie's butt, and it does look
He's
like he's
standing
staring at
up.
the lights.
He's standing up on his hind legs, and he's looking up at the lights, like wondering.
He does that. He also pulled the middle cushion down off the couch and was trying to chew one of the buttons on the cushion. Yeah, like he's been laying around doing nothing all day. We took a walk though, and everything. So I thought, he'll be good. He's always pretty mellow until somebody comes over. But nope. So, anyways, my apologies.
No apology necessary.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Just the normal stuff. Twitter and Instagram at
Tony Thaxton.
And my podcast, Bizarre Albums, which also has a Patreon. That's patreon.com/Bizarre Albums. New episodes every Tuesday in the main feed. And that's it.
Thank you guys so much for being on. This was super fun. Listeners, I love you. You matter. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Alison Rosen Show? We had a good time